Hi, my name is Elizabeth Pampalone, and I wanted to talk to you today about simplification. So, I want to let you know that a lot of the things that I do in my business email marketing, blogging, setting up websites, building brands all of those things can sound really daunting and overwhelming, especially if you have to do more than one of those in a time period just to get started. So, what I wanted to share with you guys today is a little bit about how I simplify the process and how you might be able to simplify it in your brain because that's where it gets the most muddy before you even get started. I also wanted to share with you a couple of things about how to break it down into segments so that it's a lot less of a burden when you're trying to kind of think about it all as one piece. So here we go. We're going to get started with the first part, which is the brand. If you're going to do anything, whether it's a business, a conference, an event, any of those things, maybe make a new product, it has to have its own brand. Even a product within a company has its own brand. And that brand means things like what is the target market? Who is this actually going to be used by? Who is it for? Who's going to be purchasing it? Maybe it's the same person, but maybe, those three things sometimes can mean different people. And then also, what kind of, feeling is that brand have? What kind of values does that brand have? Even if it's for a business, a product, a service, or maybe even an event or a conference or something like that. So find out what the brand is first. That's always the first piece. If you're not sure what your brand is, I would definitely say talk to a brand expert. Someone like me who can sit down, listen to what you have to say about your company or your business, and really just divine it and pull it out of whatever it is you have to say. A lot of times we're too close to our brand and we can't see those things. So having that second person kind of come in, that third party, and say, okay, I can see this so clearly. And that's usually the best option to really get to the brand very quickly. So definitely, if you don't have a brand yet, think about hiring someone to help you with your brand and then go from there. The second piece you'll need is your website. And a lot of people will say, well, you should do social media first and it'll be easier, or you should do a blog first. It's like a stepping stone. But technically, a blog and a website are the same thing. So what I tell people is, if you're going to do a blog, you might as well just do the website at the same time because it's one piece. It's the same thing. So get someone to help you build your website. I really recommend not letting someone do it for you, but maybe having someone train you on how to build your website. That's what I do with my company. We train people exactly how to build their websites so that they will be able to be more self-sufficient and more independent once the website is built. I like people to have ownership of what they're doing rather than being stuck with someone just because they don't understand how something was built or how something was put together. So first, your brand, second, your website. Third, you're going to need a couple of things for your marketing. You're going to need some social media, you're going to need some email marketing, and then I would also suggest some blogging. Now, with my company, we do something called Website in a Day, Branding in a Day. Those are 2 days. And then we have a third piece, which we will do social media in a day, email marketing in a day, or blogging in a day. Sometimes I can fit a little bit of each into just one day, which is fun. But if you really want to get the most out of your social media, let's say, and you do social media in a day, technically that is going to be an 8-hour day. And I have a very specific philosophy on social media. Not everyone agrees with me on it, but it's really effective for small businesses. So make sure you find someone that's going to work with you and with the kind of direction you're trying to go. If you're trying to build your entire business just on social media, then my approach would not necessarily work. But if you're trying to build your business with an approach of networking, local referrals, word of mouth, and social media, maybe some blogging and maybe some email marketing, which I recommend all of those to give you a more well-rounded approach, then my approach would work just fine. I sit with people and help them create 6 months to 12 months of social media in one day. Some people think it's impossible. Some people think, I don't see how we could possibly get all that done, but whatever. But it's actually very possible, and it's very, very simple, much more simple than people kind of tend to realize. So as you're going through and you're thinking about all the things you need to start your business or to get your business off the ground, definitely know that you need that branding piece, and it can be limited to a one-day session. Know that you need that website piece, and that it can be limited to a one-day session. And then kind of think of these in buckets. If I take one day and do branding, I take one day and do my website, I take one day and do my social media, then you will really have a much less to worry about. You don't have to worry about all the connections. You don't have to worry about all the tech stuff. Find someone to help you with that. If you're thinking you might need some email marketing, I do that in a day as well. I help people create templates because you need to have those set up. I help people connect other parts of their business and their websites to their email marketing so that then they don't have to always go in there and mess with stuff. Same thing with social media. It's about automation. I also help people with email marketing create opt-ins. And people, sometimes when you're a small business, you're thinking, well, what could I give as an opt-in? I've had people write a few blog posts, we put them together, and it's an ebook. So it can be something as simple as that. It can be as simple as a checklist. I had someone create they were a coach, and I had them create a form that they always had people fill out. It was like a little exercise. We actually recreated it kind of from her memory. She didn't have the form with her, but she told me what was on the form. We recreated it in a software that we use, and we now have that on her website. People can download for free by giving them her email address. So that's an opt-in. It was very, very simple, something she has everyone do anyway. And it was very easy to just recreate it really quickly in her email marketing in a day. We also connected her her blog. She wanted to do a blog, and we connected that as well. So I do that for many of my clients, helping them to create 6 to 12 months of blogs. And the reason we take a day to do it is not that it was going to take a day to set up a blog. It doesn't take that very long at all. Actually, it takes a few minutes. But we actually sit and I help them write the email, write the blogs, create the blogs, set up the emails to go out for it for the automation portion. And I actually have the accountability to sit there with them and actually write the blogs right then. So you're not going to walk away with a to-do list. You're going to actually walk away with a to-done list. It's already done. So these are some of the ways that I can help people with their small business and getting things just more clarified. But at the same time, if you want to do this on your own, this is the perfect roadmap. Set aside a day to do some branding for yourself. Get that brand really solid in your mind. I've got some videos and some worksheets in my website about branding and how you can kind of do that on your own. And then if you need help with the graphics and stuff like that, Canva is a great place to start, but I also do graphic design for my clients as well. And then the second day is, pick a day and just work on your website. If you can really devote a straight 8 hours to it and have lunch in between, take a break. But if you can really devote that straight 8 hours to your website, I know that you could get it done in that time frame. And knowing if you have those pieces set up in front of it, so knowing you have your headshot ready, knowing you have your bio done, knowing you have your price list done, which is the things I ask from all of my clients to bring with them, then you would be able to do the website in a day on your own as well. And I just help it go a lot smoother, a lot quicker because I know all the ins and outs, but it's definitely doable on your own. The next thing would be that social media day. And I can help clients, create that content calendar and all that jazz. But in the end, they do have to write some of the posts themselves. They do have to come up with some of that content. And so what I'm there to do for that part of that day is to be that accountability person to say, did you get those 8 things that we needed over here? Did you write this? Did you create that? And then I kind of help them fill in the gaps. Same thing with the blogging. We create the content calendar, and then there's a list of things to do to actually accomplish that, and we actually will divide and conquer it. So it just makes it go a little faster. But you can definitely do all of these things on your own, but just make sure you're keeping them really simple and divide them into days. Take that day and do the branding. Take a day and do email marketing. Take a day and do your website. And don't let it get too crazy in your mind that you have to do all these things, or what about this, what about this, what about this? Really just focus on one piece at a time and give yourself enough time to accomplish that piece while at this, in the same breath, kind of reducing what you're trying to do with it. If you're going to write a blog, say I'm going to write 12 blogs, I'm going to blog once a month. Don't start out thinking you're going to blog once a week. It's way too overwhelming. So give yourself the grace to start small, but also make sure that you're giving yourself enough time to accomplish each task. My name's Elizabeth Pampalone, and I hope that this little video on simplification and simplifying your process has really helped you. And if you'd like to know more about Website in a Day or any of the other in a day products I mentioned, please visit the website at elizabethpampalone.com, and I will see you soon.